Man, I mean, there are many days that you actually wish that you had started a camera just so that whatever was coming off of you, you wanted to get it out, you know, instead of just going, damn, man, this would have been hot on film. Unfortunately, I don't have the right audio supplies, so I'm going to see how this go. Yeah, man. Man, we was talking about the whole Eddie Long thing and some more people like that, but it wasn't about the Eddie Long more than it is about Christianity and sexuality. And that's it. That's it. Just that's it. Christianity and sexuality. You know, and whoo, my boy Cleve over here, man, he hit on some news. I mean, it was like, you know, once again, you know, here we are playing you know, church. And well, if you didn't know, well, you know, I got I'm what am I, Archbishop Amp Sir Easy of the Church of the Ever Coming. So you got passed. I got to pass the plate, and I got to pass the cash. All right, I do now, and I got a couple of deacons too. But I'm also into these adult lifestyle sexualities, which prescribes you to actually respect the whole full gamut of the things that you serve and protect. And well, the law says that no matter how straight or how kinky you are, as long as there's at least enough public consent and you really meant no harm in the people that you deal with, then it's all fair and games. Now, the problem here is that the same people who've been trying to tell them, no, stop, y'all, don't do it. And in some ways, I can actually see why they can actually fill a church full of 27,000 people and tell them motherfuckers, don't be trying to be no gay people. Hell no, don't get married, hell no, this, that, and the other. Because, well, shit, that means that they would have to do something that the South just ain't ready for. Now, I can understand that, even though sometimes this man has some really great sermons, and now I sit back and I think about how many times I've actually watched a really great sermon and wondered, now, I wonder if he had dick on his breath. And that's what made that sermon so good, when he was quoting the scripture, kind of, sort of. Now, maybe it was the fact that he was too sexy for his shirt. Or maybe it was the fact that that Bernice King chick was warming up the crowd before he showed up. Oh no, those are people who, they make sure that if you can understand sign language. They had, yeah. Well, you know, we live up here where right down the street from my house, we got a sign language, not a sign language, but a school for a college. So you actually get more than a master's degree in your communications. Yeah, Gallaudet. Yeah. Yeah.
But anyhow, I started standing behind him. I didn't know she was signed, because we have a sign as a 9 o'clock.
Right. Well, you know, this is where I'm at with that. See, it's all about the visuals. And a lot of times what people don't seem to understand is what people are most attracted to when they're attracted to people who actually entertain, perform, or captivate the masses, to the point where, you know, you could actually just put an entity who shines a certain kind of aura and a consistency or intensity that it could actually captivate thousands of people to actually send and receive a certain amount of energy that at that point can actually reflect something that most of the lay people can't detect, just because you can't respect the mere fact that we're a lot more than just Christians, Jews, Muslims, and whoever. We're actually something more special. Unfortunately, we're also more unique. And technically speaking, even your mama and your daddy, great-grandmama, or somebody was a freak. And there's nothing wrong if you happen to seek your own flavor that you savor. The problem here is that This Atlanta, I'm from there, and I really honestly understand the more deeper seated things because basically speaking, that little place called Terminus wasn't earning us no spiritual morality because, well, the style that it be was owned by the B&O Railroad when it was Terminus. Way back in the day when they actually would reward anyone who returned a black person who was stolen into slavery down south because they were actually the property of the B&O Railroad. And so they had their own crew of people that would go out there. And some of them were actually called Panthers. There's a lot of history that goes into the stupidity that I'm talking about with just this Willie Long shit or this church and sexuality stuff. There's a lot of things that really honestly has caused me to bring you this vlog of sorts. Now, as I'm sitting here smoking on my Newports and you're sitting back there going, damn, that dude looks like a black, what's his name? Are you ready for some football? Motherfuckers actually got on with that before they realized what he really looks like.
We're keeping him on every season, too.
Oh, man, he's locked down. Hank Williams Jr.
They used to share it with other people.
I wonder if Willie Long, Eddie Long, stroking likes country music like Hank Williams Jr. or Hank Williams Sr. Actually, I like Hank Williams Sr. a lot more better. Your cheating heart will never mend. You try and try and try again. Funny thing about that song, when you listen to them whole little songs, it seems that what goes wrong is the affairs of the heart. And it's not that, you know, the young boys would sit back and would kind of be sexy when they sitting around trying to fart out that motherfucker's cologne. You know, but I mean, and fuck what you heard, excuse my French, but there are more people doing worse things to boys, and there are more boys that grow to men that have been doing this shit over and over again to the point where we don't even want to be a friend of Greece. But I mean, you could be a jive turkey, or you can realize that those things are countries, and we actually are really into this thing. And I mean, now I'm not saying that I'm Spartacus, but even the Romans, you know, and let's not talk about them Egyptians, you know, but here's the problem here. We're full of shit. Because if you can't get with the fact that it don't mean that you need to cut somebody some slack just because they doing some shit that you don't really, you know, get with. That's some shit that really honestly don't make you you. That's the shit that takes the motherfucking monkey off your back to make us money. And this shit ain't funny when you have to sit back and think that the whole world is suffering from non-productive motherfucking people. Yeah, well, some of that shit is probably because you got a antivirus, and so it tells you, are you sure you want to fuck with this amount of shit? Because you have to clean out your antivirus, but you got to update it, and your antivirus got to be more than probably the amount of memory you got in your computer or your desktop. You understand what I'm saying? And I didn't mean to stop, but I wanted to come back to where I'm at, because that's exactly what's going on and where I'm at. See, it's not the problem that people can't solve these problems of the world. It's the problem that there are too many people who don't have enough space for memory. They don't have as much. I mean, and we can't just sit back and just slip a chip into these old motherfuckers that really honestly came from a time where they don't even remember, you know, how they, you know, got along before radio and TV. But you guys are seeing me online. And I find this the perfect time to sit back and say, you ain't got to be a hypocrite. But if you can't motherfucking get with it, then understand you're church and your spirituality were never supposed to be separated. And if you are right now being regulated because you got a different identity than the kind of things that you've been trying to befriend me when you trying to sell me, the kind of good preaching that you've been teaching these thousands and thousands of people down there in the South where men are men and sheep are scared, then I hope that you get a chance to listen to this when it's aired, because ain't nothing wrong with being Eddie Long. I believe you're right.